on a brutal winter night in the Alaskan wilderness. Warren Pierce noticed two shapes moving at the edge of his property. At first, he assumed they were stray dogs, but when he looked closer, his breath caught. Two wolves stood on his porch, their ribs visible beneath frost-covered fur. They weren't snarling. They weren't aggressive. They were shaking, exhausted, and staring at his door as if begging for refuge. Against every instinct drilled into him by years of living in barren wolf country, Warren opened his door, unknowingly stepping into a moment that would change his life forever. Warren had spent his entire life in Alaska and knew winter was unforgiving. His log cabin, scarred by decades of storms, was his sanctuary. That night had been ordinary, chopping firewood, tending his small heated greenhouse, settling in by the fire until soft scratching and faint whines broke the silence. When he opened the door wider, the wolves stepped inside cautiously, releasing a collective shudder as warmth finally wrapped around them. One limped badly, its hind leg swollen and raw. The other never left its side. Warren fed them the only meat he had, watching them devour it with desperate gratitude. Instead of fear, he felt awe. These weren't monsters. They were survivors on the brink. As the fire crackled, the wolves curled up near the hearth and slept. And Warren realized how close they had come to dying. By morning, the injured wolf's condition had worsened. With no veterinary training, Warren did what he could, cleaning the wound, bandaging the leg, speaking softly as the wolf endured the pain without striking back. Trust settled quietly between them. That trust deepened over the next day as the wolves regained strength. Though food supplies ran low and worry grew, Warren knew he couldn't keep them forever. Relief came when a woman named Kara appeared near his property. She was a wildlife researcher tracking a missing wolf pack. The two wolves, she explained, were siblings separated during a blizzard. The injured one wouldn't have survived much longer. Warren agreed to help transport them to a rehabilitation center, knowing it was the right thing no matter how hard it felt to let them go. A violent snowstorm struck during the journey, forcing the group to shelter near a frozen creek. Through the night, the wolves stayed pressed together, the stronger sibling constantly watching over the injured one. Then, as dawn approached, Warren spotted another wolf in the distance alone, starving and barely standing. Against the odds, he tracked it down. It was part of the same family. When the third wolf was brought back, something extraordinary happened. The moment the wolves saw one another, tension dissolved into recognition. Soft whines replaced growls. Noses touched. Bodies pressed together. A broken pack was whole again. Soon after, rescue vehicles arrived. The wolves were carefully transported to the wildlife center.